Hi, you're watching my channel, Cloudbusted. So I got a pretty cool unboxing video for today. This is a Team Associated RC10T Gen 1. This is the original. So I recently picked this up. This is a new unboxed kit, and I'll unbox it for you. It's already been opened before, because normally when I pick these things up, I just leave them, if they're sealed in the box, I don't break the seal because they're not worth as much. But this one's already been opened before, so I'll do a quick unboxing for you. So right there on the cover you can see Team Associated RC10T 110 scale competition RC truck. 9-time IFMAR world champion, featuring the stealth transmission, all that stuff. And if you look at the lower right hand corner of the box, these were cool. They were made in USA, not like today. Not that that's a bad thing, but it was just something cool back then. Like, these were all made in USA. I like that. So other than my obvious Cloudbuster obsession, this thing ran right alongside that. I've always loved these things. These got me big into racing when I was a kid. I used to race at indoor dirt tracks, so it's been a long time since I opened up one of these RC10T kits. In fact, I don't think I've never opened up a brand new one since my first one. All the new unboxed kits, like I said before, were sealed in the box, and I never opened them. I just sold them. So let's take a look at the outside of the box. These were pretty neat right there. You can see it came with narrow tires and standard wide tires. And because back then you didn't have like the clay tracks, or there were some carpet tracks, but dirt tracks were real popular. So those narrow tires were pretty nice in the dirt. They helped to steer and not push as much in the corners. It was really nice. Right there, it just tells you it's the RC10T truck, part number 7001. This one is a stealth transmission with the hard anodized shocks and the ball bearings. They offered it two ways. You get it this way with the bearings and the hard anodized shocks, or just the regular gold shocks with bronze bushings. And you can see it had a price of $335. So in 1990, compared to inflation and everything today, that would be around $650. So back then, $335 for a kit that was unassembled with no radio or anything, or no motor or transmission or pinion gear. That was a lot of money. In fact, back then, I don't even think they really had many ready-to-run kits. I think Traxxas was starting to make some ready-to-run kits, but there really weren't too many. So right there, it just shows a picture of the RC10T, body off with all the electronics. Got a Novak speed control and Novak receiver. I don't know what type of servo that is. You can't see any brand on it. So this kit is the part number 7001. I actually have another RC10T new in box. That's a 7011. So take a look at the difference. The one on the left, like I said earlier, comes with the hard anodized shocks and bearings, whereas the one on the right comes with a mechanical speed controller and bronze bushings, just the gold shocks. And you can see the price difference. It's almost $100, $95 less exactly, for the 7011 kit. That one I'm not going to open because it's still sealed in the box. So if you're going to buy one of these, that's something you might want to think about. The 7001 is much more valuable because it's more of like a race truck right out of the box. And right there you can see the one on the right does not come with the narrow tires, the one on the left does. And if you look at the front of the boxes, you can see right here it says bonus pair of trick narrow front wheels and tires. They called everything that was cool trick back then. Everything was trick. Anyway, this one does not say that. And I'm just now noticing that this is also a newer kit, because right there it says 9-time IFMAR world championship, and this one says 11. So that means if the RC10T won every IFMAR world championship every year, that would make the one on the right 9, 10, 11, 2 years newer. Alright, so enough with that. Let's start opening this thing up. I got some memories to bring back. So pop this thing open. See right there is the seal. That's all they had. They still have that same exact seal today. Everything's pretty much packed in there pretty good. A lot of parts in a small box. So these are the narrow front tires and wheels. These are the rear spike tires and wheels. That's your stealth transmission. That looks like the outer hubs and all the hinge pins. Some more plastic pieces. It's your front chassis, front shock tower. That looks like the front and rear A-arms. You give you some good amount of double-sided tape. Curious if that's still good after all these years. I'm not too sure what this. You know what? Actually, I know what that is. Those are. I think those hold the wheels on. That's like an option. There's some battery boxes. These things you can mount the batteries two ways, either sideways or front to back. The cheaper kit that comes with the mechanical speed controller mounts the battery sideways. Typically, a racer would mount it front to back. There's the body. Look at these things. That body's worth a lot of money today. Shock oil. Let's go look how dark that shock oil is. These are the wide front tires. So they work well. You just play around with different track conditions. Just some more plastic pieces. A long antenna tube. Back then the receivers used crystals, so the antenna tubes were real long. Chassis. It's nice stamped aluminum chassis. It's really light, pretty rigid. Just some more hardware parts and pieces. That's a spur gear. Rod ends. I believe they always gave you spares too. There's the steering linkage. Not quite sure what that is. That might be a tool or something. There's the assembly manual, the all-new RC10T. There's another manual. Let's pop these manuals up and see what's in them. So it looks like this is the new technological breakthrough from Team Associated RC10T truck catalog. So that's pretty cool. That just gives you a breakdown of everything on the truck. The new body mounts, everything, the narrow tires. So I guess it's just all the part numbers of all the different parts. Yeah, exploded diagram. So if you need to order parts, I should call up Team Associated and give them some of these part numbers, see what they'll say. So this just must be the assembly manual. Oh yeah, there's the decal sheet too. Nice, so there's all the decals. There's another parts ID. I'll take a look at that 1992 Reedy. So that must be when this thing came out, 1992. I gotta double check that. So it's just a instruction manual. Hasn't really changed much over the years. They kind of look like this still. Yeah, this thing brings back memories. I remember building this when I was a kid. It's pretty cool. So now I'll get this thing packed up in the box. I'm not sure what I want to do with this. Whether I want to just leave it on the shelf or do I want to build it. Part of me wants to build it, but I know it'll be worth a lot more if I just keep it. I don't know, it's something to figure out. I have a lot of old vintage parts, like electronics, like Novak speed controllers. I think I have a Novak. Let me check right here. Yeah, so like right here is an old Novak ESC. This is a 610 RV, so this one has reverse. Typically in an RC10T you wouldn't use reverse because in a competition event you're really not allowed to use reverse because it can like mess up other cars if you try and correct an error. But the 610 RV with 6 to 10 cells, so that's pretty good ESC. This is one of their first reversing. It was replaced by the Rooster. So I'll get all this stuff back in the box. So besides those two new in box kits, I have a couple other RC10Ts also. Like this is a one original and then a second original. So the one on the left is a driver because I bought that one used and it was already a little beat up in the body. It's an original body and painted. The one on the right though was pretty cool. It was found as a kit that somebody started building new. It was never ran or even never had electronics put to it. They never finished building it, so like the truck was there, but I don't know what happened to the body. It had no body when I got it. So I ended up finding this body. Somebody on eBay found these original looking bodies. It's not a factory body. It's a little more rounded, but it's painted with the box art, which is pretty cool. So I'll pop this thing off and show it to you. This one's got a pretty nice brush motor. It's a Reedy Outlaw. And even though it's not brushless, it's a brush motor. With the right battery and everything, they were pretty quick. They were fast if you geared it correctly. But it was a pretty rigid chassis. Didn't really have a whole lot of flex. Definitely lightweight. Good suspension. You can see the gold shocks on this one. And the battery goes this way. So it had the mechanical speed controller. If the battery goes this way, you would have your receiver and your speed control. It has a nice bell crank steering with a servo saver built in. They used fiberglass shock towers. They were light, they were rigid, they were very strong. I don't know why they moved away from those. And all the plastics were like a nylon. They were very rugged. These trucks very rarely broke. You really had to like hit them hard and abuse them to break them. But usually in a track situation, these things never broke. So I bought and sold every generation RC10T from the first one up to the current 6.1. I still have my T6.1, which is right here. It's pretty cool. I copied the box art of the original, but changed the lines a little bit since the body's a little squared off. Instead of like rounding the lines of the white and reds and everything, I just kind of made them squared off a little bit. So right there you can see that the RC10T 6.1 sits a bit lower. Same width, about the same wheelbase, but the original definitely handles better in the loose dirt because it's rear engine. The 6.1's a mid-motor design, so it puts the weight all in the center, so the back end tends to slide out a bit in loose situations. So if you're out ripping around in loose dirt or your backyard or something, the original RC10T will probably out-handle it, but definitely like an indoor carpet or a clay track, the 6.1's going to have the advantage just because of the modern technology. It's come a long way. But I don't know, something about the RC10T original to me is way cooler, but that's just probably because it's my first competition truck ever. So I don't know, let me know what you would do if you had this new in box kit. Would you just stick it on a shelf, sell it, or build it? I'm going with building it because I've already sold enough, and I don't know, I have that other one that's still sealed in the box, so I'll probably build it. I don't know, let me know what you would do. So I'm going to move these over real quick. I'll show you one other project I've also started. Tamiya Toyota Hilux Monster Racer. This is a cool truck. I've always liked these, but I was never really that big into them. So I decided I want to sell this one because I have a ton of RCs and I want more Cloudbusters and maybe more RC10Ts too. This one's in really good shape. It's original tires front, original red wheels. Rear tires have been changed. The decals are peeling off. It's not really the right color. Like that should be red back there, not blue. But that's okay because I also have this. This is an original Tamiya Hilux body set. Comes with the body. And also all new decals. So it's all the decals gives you also the directions right here. And this is cool, it tells you all the colors that it's supposed to be and exactly where. It even gives you the Tamiya paint can numbers, so that makes it easy. Comes with the antenna tube, just some extra body posts, and some doubles. Oh, I didn't even realize it also comes with the right body clips, so that's cool. So that's the next project, so follow along if you want to check out that. Anyway, take care, thanks for watching, like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.